All right, Joe Walker here, Yonah Mountain Farms. It is May the 5th, 2025, about 1:30. I'm here about to move the goats, and I just want to show this netting we got. So basically we picked this up secondhand from somebody. This is like really tall stuff. This is here, it's taller than me, or about as tall as me. But which is I'm about 6'1" these days. But anyhow, so we picked this up secondhand for cheap, and it's basically just been sitting. So I decided, the best use for it, I don't want to move this constantly, because it's like for garden netting or whatnot. But the goats respect it because it will be electrified. So I decided, hey, we're just going to put it in a particular spot where I always got to run netting every time the goats come through, but it's not going to be in the way of the cows, and a spot that the chickens will probably never see. So we got the perfect spot basically along this drainage ditch. The goats are coming this way. They're cleaning up this ditch that's just full of all kind of stuff, but this is the drainage ditch from the pond, which is spring fed off the mountain. So this was essentially completely overgrown with blackberries and such, and we cleared it out, ran the hot wire, and the goats have been through here a few times, but it's definitely time to get them back on it. So we're going to set up this this heavy duty big deal netting here, and hopefully only once. The cool thing about it is we will be able to just sidestep the posting. So if I need to, if brush starts growing on it, I'll just move it forward and then back again to let the goats have access. So it'll be, semi-permanent, I guess. But anyhow, this is what the goats are coming on to. This is just a ton of blackberry and rose, ironweed, lots of other stuff. There's some fleabane. But anyhow, here's our hot wire on the perimeter. That's basically all we have is a single strand. The property starts to widen up. So as we walk this way, you'll see that it actually gets quite narrow along this drainage ditch. But right here, it's starting to widen up. So we really want to be able to manage this with the goats, because there's essentially nothing for a cow here, but there's an absolute feast for these goats. So here, just out of simplicity's sake, I come off of the fence line, the old barbed wire fence line. I start coming off a good 6-8 feet from it, and that widens up to 30 feet or so, because my perimeter fence runs on the left side of this big triple poplar. No, that's actually a sweet gum. Wow, that's a giant mother of all sweet gums. But anyway, so yeah, but we still want to manage this. We still want to be able to get the goats back here. Sure, the cows won't make it, but we'll be able to get the goats here. And actually, we could, quite easily put a gate in, a simple bungee gate or something. Have to sink a couple of posts for that, but for now, this is just goat territory. So we're gonna pause this, and I'm gonna start setting up this ginormous netting. Actually, before I let y'all go, let me see what we're working with here as we get up to the goat paddock. So we just moved them here yesterday, and we just threw a couple of boards there for the goats to be able to cross this creek and get on the other side. So basically our high tensile hot wire perimeter fence runs right through the middle. There's a post hanging off of it, and we're able to just run this fence right across the ditch, throw in a couple of 2x whatever's, 2x8, 2x10, 2x12 across the creek. That's enough for the goats to be able to get over here and really clean this up. So now they're coming this way. So wow, That's nice. Right into here. So yeah, they've had this paddock a day. Maybe this one will be a day, maybe two, we'll see. But I'm gonna get this monstrosity of a netting set up. All right, so as I get back for round two of the dealing with the old King Kong netting, I was thinking that I kind of needed to explain a little bit about who we are at Yonah Mountain Farms. So basically, you know, we're a small farm operating on leased land. Holly and I are first generation farmers. We moved to the country 10, 11 years ago. We really didn't have in mind that we were going to be farmers then. But Holly was actually working in Atlanta. I quit my job and started landscaping up here in northeast Georgia. And it wasn't too long after that, I guess it was like 5 years after that, our second son was born. So when he was born, we really didn't want to do the whole daycare thing or public schools for a whole host of reasons. But anyhow, so one of us had to quit our jobs, and the landscaping company was going well, but it wasn't steady income like like Holly's checks were every 2 weeks or whatnot. But anyhow, our youngest son was born, and I gave up the landscaping company to basically be a stay-at-home dad. And I was going nuts, honestly. I was like pulling my hair out because I was just so used to working. You know, my previous job before that was route sales, interstate batteries, you know, and I was a truck driver before that, worked on trailers before that, but, you know, basically just blue-collar stuff. But anyhow, yeah, I was going nuts at home with the baby all day, and I come across, used to have watched YouTube and all. Holly had to go to bed so early because she had to get up and make that commute. But sorry, out of breath here. But anyhow, yeah, so I stay up. So I started watching. Somehow ran across Justin Rhodes and the Great American Farm Tour. And man, I watched like that whole series. This would have been, I don't know, about 7 years ago. So I guess, where are we at? That would have been like, sorry, I'm a little slow on the numbers. But 18, yeah, that would have been like 2018. I started watching the Great American Farm Tour, where he just converted this school bus into an RV and took the fam all over the country, touring small farms. And I guess it was really when he hit Polyface Farms. Well, no. The first one would have been, the first one that really got my attention was Paul Greer and his story with Primal Pastures and now with Pasture Bird. But it was him, and then which led me to Joel Salatin, which led me to Greg Judy, and so we decided to give it a shot. And this would have been 6 years ago. We started on our first property, which was a little 10-acre plot. Basically, Holly and I just drove around looking for pastures, abandoned pastures that weren't being kept up or whatnot, and then got home and wrote letters. So looked up the addresses and wrote letters. I think I sent out, we wrote down about 20 addresses. I sent out about 4 letters out of those 20 addresses to the properties that we really wanted, that were just the closest and seemed to be the most ideal and have the best chance that we would get it. And it was a few days later, one of the owners called me up and we met at the property, and that was it. So we worked out a deal, and we started leasing that 10 acres. From there, we expanded to a property that's been in several of these videos. It's about 20 acres in total. That would have been our second lease, and it actually started out with about 14 acres, I think, and then later on, because of the management and the amount of effort and work we were putting into the land, they gave us the rest of it that was previously a friend of theirs was using it for horses, so we ended up getting that extra 6 acres. And then this is the most recent property, so this is about 50 acres, and the owners of this property actually came and found us at the other property. They saw what we were doing. I gave them a little farm tour, showed them what was going on, and they were closing on this property here and wanted to know if we would manage it. So of course we jumped on board, and we've been here now about 2 years. But anyhow, I say all that to say this, the purpose of these videos are, one of the main reasons is I just want to show people that it can be done. I mean, we were just normal city folks. We lived in East Atlanta and DeKalb County, and we just gave it a go, and we basically just haven't stopped. We've caught a lot of breaks on the way, but I just really want to inspire people that seek to do this, to actually manage the land or make a living off of the land. I just want to encourage people and let them know that it can be done. And we pretty much learned everything we know from YouTube, podcasts, all kinds of podcasts, books, and blogs. I mean, that's basically it. So and then obviously experience being the best teacher. I think number one, sure, you establish a base, you determine that you want to give it a shot, but then after that, you just got to go. And the best advice I could give to somebody is don't stop. Because so long as you keep going, you will succeed. So long as you keep pushing, you will succeed. But anyhow, that's who we are. That's a brief look into our background, and right now we just really have in our heart to just show people that this can be done on a small scale, because we are very small scale. Approximately about 80 acres, and like I say, it's all started from 10. I mean, when we first started, we went from 2 chickens to 4 chickens. Then we bought 2 cows, and then it was like 40 chickens. I mean, it's just so we've started from basically nothing, no experience, really no money, very, very little money, and anybody can do it if you want, if you're willing to put forth the effort. And part of these videos, I just want to help people and show the process, what we've gone through, how we do it now, just to so people can learn from our mistakes and just hopefully see an easier way and a better way of doing things. And the other reason that I want to shoot these videos is just really to promote regenerative agriculture, because I do think that it is the future, and the movement is definitely growing. People are fed up with the foods, the vaccines, just the chemicals. So we are we are fed up with all that stuff, and this is one of the main reasons another main reason we started was because of the food. So we moved up here thinking like, hey, we're here in the country, we're gonna get the best food from all these local farmers, and honestly we just couldn't find it. And then when we did find it, it was like it was just so hard to get consistently. And then you start going down that rabbit hole, and it's like, wow, eventually you get to the point where it's like, wow, I don't think I can eat anything other than what I raise, you know. So but anyhow, that's kind of our brief little history, or little story, who we are. And you know, we just have a heart for sharing right now. It's been on my heart for a while. I just want to get this out here, or get this out there. And you know, people like the content, give it a like, give it a share, whatever, you know, subscribe, all that good stuff. but anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, I'm back here with this old woolly mammoth netting from Premier One, the stuff we bought secondhand. Somewhat of a disappointment. It's short, but I understand why it's got to be, because it's, you know, 6 feet tall. But anyhow, it's a little different than than the other netting. And what I meant by short, obviously it's 6 feet tall, but it's only, you know, if I had to guess, 80. These are 80-foot long sections, so I have 2 of them set up, and you know, I was kind of hoping to get a little more. I was kind of hoping they were about 100 foot a piece at least. But anyway, this was kind of funky. It had the ends had 4, so I just kind of, you know, shoved that all together. So long as it'll make it hot, you know, that's what we're after. But so yeah, so now, you know, I got one more crappy netting I think I'm gonna throw back here, and this will just be the land of the netting that I hope I don't have to move anymore. So let me go grab that under the netting, get it set up, and we got to grab the good netting also and finish this paddock on out. All right, so while I'm walking back to my truck thinking about, you know, why we're doing these videos, another reason popped into mind, and that's for our customers. So we really want our customers to see where their food comes from. That's extremely important to me. Where my food comes from is like, you know, probably one of the most important things to me. And so I feel it would be important to other people, and I just want to show a real uncut, you know, this is who we are, this is what we do, this is how we do it. And if this is the kind of food you want, you know, watch our videos and learn how the systems we've implemented over the past 6 years. And if you just want to buy it, YonahMountainFarms.com, you know, and we'd appreciate any likes and subscribes. I think the subscribes are the big deal, and for YouTube. And we just want to continue to put out valuable content. So we hope people do find this valuable, and if you do, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff, and we'll keep dropping. Thanks. All right, got this paddock all set up. I just want to document real quick. So we're talking about blackberries and multiflora rose and whatever all this other stuff is. This at least as tall as this post. I think they're 32 inches. All of this is anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, I would say, with still lots of saplings. And just ton of rose, ton of blackberry, ton of privet. So I think the goats are going to be quite happy with this one. About to head over here and turn them loose up. Got to make this connection. Uno sequito. Need some string for that one. Looky. We have some. Just going to tie these real quick. Glad we caught that on the way back up. Go to goats. Gotta go, go. Come on, mama. They're all across. Chowing down. So I gotta hurry up and get over here. I'm gonna use their... Alright, I gotta get across this bridge real quick. And whoop. Now we just gotta shorten this up to make it reach. But I don't think the goats will cross, but I'm gonna still be in somewhat of a hurry, just in case. So basically I'm gonna just pull all these posts. There's the piggies, they'll be moving into this paddock here in a minute. But yeah, I'm gonna just pull these posts and lay it down real quick. Once I get it all laid down, here comes Missy. We got it hung up on my knife. Once we get it all laid down, I'll be able to pull it. So it'll shorten up the pig paddock a little bit, but that's just the breaks of life. At least they're getting a new paddock, right? So now I can just drag this down, down, down. One more. All right. Yeah, so when I ran that last paddock, I come up wee short, a little bit short, so we just remedied that real quick. And we're almost still working on it. Pull that tighter, step it in, hook that under just for the heck of it. Actually, it helps keep the fence a little tighter, so I'll pull this. See our sag? We got a sag here, a little bit of a sag here, so just gonna pull that, and that actually created more of a sag. Forget that hack. Oh, so I'll just loop it over again real quick. That's what I did. I just pulled it, looped it over again. I'll connect this to the wire. I'll just wrap it around a couple times. Bam. And now we will step in the hog paddock real quick, which is the remainder of this netting that I just pulled down. So the paddock will get kind of narrow right there, but that's all right. And they actually get a little virgin grass, a little virgin corner that was unmolested by the goats. I don't know if that's the greatest analogy, but hey. So this got twisted when I pulled it, and that's alright. Just gotta untwist it as we go. So long as you didn't get the first one twisted, you're fine. If you get the first one twisted and then you went and stepped all these in, well, now you gotta untwist the whole thing one way or the other. I mean, I guess in this situation you'd be alright. You just have to untwist that last one. Well, piggies know what time it is. They're coming out. Yeah, that may have, get these sticks out of here. That may have been the case just now, actually. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. I thought I may have twisted it. But nope. Okay, so I got that tight, and I see that I can actually come out a little more, so might as well. Watch my shoes. However that song goes. Let me double check this. I think I did a pretty shoddy job, actually. So yeah, so too much sagging. Not really, don't matter right here. But we'll just loop it up again. That works. Okay, looks like the pigs are ready. Chunk Missy's dog bowl out of here. Almost. Grab this man feeder. Hey piggies, y'all ready? Looks like it. Come on, yeah piggies. Yeah piggies. Come on. So, piggy's moving. Come on, big boy. You're so lazy. Y'all come get some fresh forage. There you go. I think I've said this in like every video that I've done the pigs, but yeah, May 13th, we'll probably have them back by the 20th. So if you want some good pasture-raised pork, May 20th, I'm pause this and finish up.